What's up, everyone? You're watching Cannell Games here with another episode of Football Manager 2017. Been a little while since my last update. Been having some tech issues with my computer. It didn't record one of the episodes that I did record over the past weekend. So we have some matches to catch up on, and there may be another delay before my next episode because, as you can see behind me, I'm going to be upgrading my current setup, which will hopefully solve a lot of my tech issues and maybe let me move into, producing a little more consistently because it won't take as long to produce them. At least I won't have the same tech issues. Anyway, so since we won in penalties against Dynamo Chicken Kiev Maidenbauer on October the 21st in the Bryan Hall Challenge Cup, we've played 7 matches since then. So we followed that up with 2 back-to-back 2-1 losses, one in the Parsons Challenge Cup second round against Burgess Hill Albion. See, we won't have these loading times. We played pretty well, though. I don't want to say we deserved to win. It was sort of evenly contested. We had a little more of the chances, but we, again, weren't really able to do much with them. Our lone goal came from our center back, so it was just sort of one of those days. The next game in the league against Heath Rangers, pretty evenly contested. We missed a penalty. Jack Lynch, who we haven't talked about, he's one of our newer signings, got a sending off in his first match for the club, so that was a little disappointing. But our former Division 9 opponents, Heath Rangers, are continuing to sort of put up a good fight against us in Division 8. And as you can see from the league table, they're doing okay. It's fairly congested. We'll get into the league in just a second. But then, since those 2 back-to-back losses, we've been in amazing form with a 4-0 win over Cuckfield Development. Rather even-handed distribution of our goals. You can see they had 13 shots, but only 2 on target. And that's sort of to be expected. They started snatching at their chances a little bit, particularly once we got up 3-0. In the last 10 minutes, they were really pressing forward, trying to grab something, and Reese Hayes was able to put one home on a counterattack. After that, we followed it up with a 4-1 victory over Handcross Village. A hat trick from Nathan Randall, who's really cemented himself as our first-choice striker. Brett Walker, who's come into the side, declining in all of his attributes. Similar mold to Reese Hayes, but he's sort of settled into that advanced playmaker role in our attacking midfield. Not as actually an advanced playmaker, I misspoke, as an attacking midfielder. And he's done really well getting into the box and acting almost as a second striker, similar to what McDodds was last season. Into the Tester Challenge Cup, we won 5-2 over Ringmer. Again, well-distributed scoring. Nathan Randall with another, Brett Walker with a brace, and then Ollie Hotchkiss and Matthew Clark coming on as a substitution late on, scoring in the 90th minute to put it away. Following that up, a little closer affair, 2-1 victory over Barcombe. Nathan Randall scoring once again. Ryan Hutchinson, another new signing, which we'll talk about in a little bit, our center back, to sort of shore up the back line. You can see 22 shots, 10 on target. 2-1 was a bit flattering for them, but happy to get away with the 3 points nonetheless. And then finally in the Mid-Sussex Junior Cup against the Burgess Hill Rhinos, a 3-0 victory. Nathan Randall with another 2 goals. Ollie Hotchkiss sort of adds some insurance near the end of the game there. Fairly comfortable win. You can see in terms of stats, we were fairly well off there as well. So this takes us to our game against Nutley. And the reason that we're playing this one to go away from the typical showing us the cup games is because if you look at the table, it is the sort of top of the table feature here. So we're down by 5 points at the moment, but a win would obviously bring us within contention of 2. And if we're actually to drop this one, if we're to tie or even lose, you can see that Ardingly, Barcombe, and Heath Rangers can all get right back into the mix. Crawley and Cuckfield Development are also very, very close. So if things go poorly for us in 1 or 2 fixtures, we could drop all the way back down to 7th place. So you can see it's very, very congested. Now, the other thing that I'll draw our attention to is the performance of Nathan Randall. He has 10 goals in 14 appearances, 3 assists, 7 goals in 7 league matches. He's really started to play incredibly well for us. You can see the 7.44 rating there in the league. He's done very, very well. And at 19 years of age, there's quite a future for him. Hopefully. You never know. If we keep getting promoted, obviously, he'll probably find himself out of his element fairly quickly. Back to the transfers, though. Since we last left off, the 2 signings are Jack Lynch, who I told you got sent off in his first appearance. Pretty disappointing stuff. He's sort of just a well-rounded ball winner. Recently, I've been bringing him on as a substitution when we were in the lead to sort of shore up the defensive end. And we'll take a look at the tactics, and I'll describe sort of what I've been doing since then. So you can see he had the 1 start that I gave him, but he was sent off. And since then, he's featured 4 times off the bench. playing fairly well. Not super high ratings, but he comes in mostly as a defensive substitution late in the game. Our other signing was Ryan Hutchinson, who has featured in 5 matches as a starter, once off the bench. And you can see he's a fairly well-rounded defender at this level. He's probably our best center back at this point. The others just simply weren't cutting it. Jay Taylor, he's now with our under-23s, I believe. I have to double-check that. I keep forgetting. I keep moving players around. Neil Kabaki is with our under-23s, and they just haven't been performing well enough. So you can see here we have Logan Jeffs and Ryan Hutchinson. So 2 newcomers. We signed Jeffs near the end of last season, if you remember, but he didn't really get fit in time. Off the bench, we have Joe Lamplau because, surprisingly, Carl Stone has supplanted him as our first-choice left back, despite his absolutely atrocious attributes. I brought him in because Lamplau was struggling a bit, and he hasn't been, mind-blowingly good, but he's been good enough. You can see his form from his last 5 games is over 7, and so we're going to ride that. And Lamplau offers the bit of versatility in that he can play on the left side or in the center to sort of spell our center backs there. So this is the tactic that we've sort of devolved to since we last spoke. I think we were playing 4-4-2 in the last episode. Now we're back to the 4-2-3-1. The 4-4-2 was getting a little frustrating after those back-to-back losses. We weren't really generating a whole lot, so I moved back to this more offensive formation. And I've made a little bit of adjustments here as well. So Brett Walker has come in as our attacking midfielder. Reese Hayes is actually pushed back to a deep-lying playmaker to replace Leroy Jennings, who hasn't played exceptionally well this season. You can see in 11 appearances, 6.75. No goals, no assists, just isn't really doing it for us. Whereas Reese Hayes, doing much better, particularly recently. His form has been fairly good with his rating above 7. On the wings, Joe Harrison trying to get a little more comfortable on the wing, but you can see he has good pace, decent dribbling. He's played fairly well over there for us. Probably the worst out of our starting 11, but Tamar Clayton-Nout is just not much better. He's also right-footed, and I want someone who can just cross it in, so he hasn't really been an option there. Nathan Randall, as we already spoke about, he's been our first-choice striker. Connor Martin has done very, very well on the right wing. Ollie Hotchkiss has done really well coming back in. I thought Jack Lynch was possibly going to replace him, and that would sort of be the dual partnership in the middle, but Jack Lynch got sent off, hasn't really been doing all that well, and Ollie Hotchkiss has sort of cemented himself there. Jack Fixter has as that inverted wingback. I'm starting to get used to how to use him, and he sort of sinks in behind our midfielders when we have possession and then gets back into position when we lose possession of the ball. So it's worked out fairly well for us thus far. Off the bench, we have Matthew Clark as our main sort of difference maker, either as a striker or can come in as a right winger as well. And then Niall Mayer as our goalkeeper has been doing exceptionally well so far this season. In terms of instructions, shorter passing, play wider, be more expressive, and higher tempo. And that's sort of what we're going to be looking at today. So without any further ado, we're going to be jumping into our match against Nutley to see if we can move closer to moving top of the table and hopefully a little bit clearer into our promotion spot moving forward, because this will actually be the official halfway point of the season. This is our 8th game of the league, and there's only 16 games in the league. Very, very short season. A lot of cup competitions sprinkled in there, especially since so far we've been doing fairly well in the cup competitions. So it should be a fairly quick season moving forward. And here we go today on a fairly large pitch. There's been quite the diversity of pitch sizes in this division. We had one where it was off the sides and you couldn't really see the whole pitch while still seeing my tables on either side. And then there was one where it was literally a square right down the middle. It was about as wide as it was long, which was really odd. So quite the diversity of pitch sizes in the Mid-Sussex 8th Division. But we'll see how we can do today against Nutley. So we have some control here. Fixter moves into the center of the pitch. Ollie Hotchkiss plays it off to Fixter. Fixter looks to play it forward to Martin. Martin drops it down to Randall. Holding possession here, Hotchkiss loses out to Franklin. And a counterattack is quickly snuffed out by Jeffs. Jeffs to Randall. Randall over to Martin. Martin into the box. Shot is blocked and we'll get a corner. Not a bad start for the club. 10 minutes in with our first chance on goal there. Brett Walker swings in the cross. Easily dealt with by Farmer, but we retain possession. Martin plays it into the middle to Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss plays it into Jeffs. Our center back's quite the ways up the pitch. Into Reese Hayes, over to Walker. Quick passing here. Plays into Randall. Not a clean touch there. And they're able to clear. Only as far as Stone, though. Randall flicks it on, and that's the end of that highlight. So the big thing here will be if, and we've been doing really well with it lately, but is whether or not we can actually finish our chances. We've been okay at getting possession, getting shots on goal, but not always quality chances. And once we get into roughly just outside the 18-yard box, we're having a lot of trouble making that final pass. And we don't really have the skills of a team to really live off of those long shots on goal. You'll see throughout the season and throughout this save, until we get into the much higher divisions, if we ever get there, that they'll run into one occasionally. Here's a chance. Martin swings it in, just wide from Randall. But you'll see those long shots. Once in a while, we'll connect and put it in the back of the net, partially due to the poor goalkeeping at this level. But once in a while, they will strike one with some ferocity, and it will hit the corners. But that's fairly rare, so we don't want to rely on that all that much. We're not going to play long balls. And Joe Harrison has to get used to playing on the left wing here. So here we go again. This could be Nutley's real first chance. They haven't really had a chance yet, which is always worrisome. Strikes it wide of goal. Poor angle there. And hopefully we have over 60% possession, so hopefully we can maintain the pressure. Hotchkiss, see, there's one of those long shots. Is on net, but just not really enough. Hotchkiss likes to try those. He's actually scored a couple so far this season, so I'm not really upset about him taking those chances because there are results to show from it. And as we move towards half, just a couple of chances for us. Haven't really been able to unlock them, but we are possessing most of the ball. Not a whole lot I want to change, I don't think. Making a lot of passes. I don't have retained possession on, so it's not like they're intentionally shying away from playing these balls forward. You can see that one played there. Hayes now picks it up into Hotchkiss. Give and go here. Gives it up to Martin. Martin into Walker. Walker, can he make a good pass forward to Hotchkiss? Will Hotchkiss kick a shot? No. Harrison's got some room on the wing. Would have been nicer if he tried to cut towards the goal line there and then drag it across. But they're taking their chances. Hotchkiss, he's no McDodds, that's for sure. McDodds is now down. I think I sent him to the under-23s. Just wasn't going to do it for us this year. He just doesn't have the stats, doesn't have the attributes to really cut it at this level. And that's probably what we're going to see over the course of this save, is I'm going to start getting attached to some players, and they're just not going to cut it. And this happens in a lot of Football Manager saves for me over the years. So that's the first half. Fairly drab. Maybe we can move to a more controlling mentality. They're looking complacent. I don't want to, like, they're complacent, but I'm not far from pleased. Keep working. The ability, no. I don't like how this team talk's going. They're looking complacent. This is for first place, guys. What's there to be complacent about? Hopefully we can find a goal. This isn't their best match so far. They've controlled it, but they're just not doing much with it. Oh, that looked like a good ball forward. And we can move on the attack once again. Played forward to Randall. Randall drops it down to Harrison. Harrison looks to move forward. Nutley have a lot of men back. They're playing a 4-4-2, but they're really sitting behind our players. Hutchison clears that up. Scrambles that right to Dunn. And here's Leach, and we could be in some trouble here. Their striker has a step on us to Chuddy, and that's in the back of the net. That was just really poor possession there. As soon as we lost possession, they, only to their right winger, played it forward, and their two strikers just outpaced our entire back line. Just behind everybody, and that's, you can't expect much. Like, it's not a great shot. Maybe the goalie can save that, but with a clear-cut chance like that right in front, they didn't even give it as a clear-cut chance, but I call that a clear-cut chance. I can't expect much from our keeper there. So we can hopefully find an equalizer. McCullough dispossesses Hotchkiss in the middle. Jeffs intercepts it into Leach. We may need to make some adjustments here. Aside from our back end. Oh my goodness. Oh. See, I told you that some of those long shots do go in. Just they usually don't go in against us. So let's see if this is deflected in or just off the bar. Chuddy just... Oh. Mayer needs to do better than that. He got his hands on it first. It didn't go off the bar and in. It went off him off the bar and in. So You really need to do better. That's not anything wrong with the team or the tactics. That's just poor play from our keeper. Played forward, given away. Here's Chuddy again, moving forward. Hayes cleans that up. We got to start pressing forward. Maybe one of those team talks. I don't know. They're complacent. Show some passion. Into Brett Walker. Brett Walker plays over to Martin. Martin, let's find a goal. Let's find a chance here. We just need some life. Randall into Harrison. Harrison gets dispossessed. Moving forward again. Played long to Chuddy. He's got more pace than the rest of our back line. Fixter's on top of him. Can't do much. Plays it in. And scrambles it towards the net, and Mayer turns it back for a corner. So, not looking good for us. In the middle, Hutchison clears it away. Randall can run onto it, but he's on a 1-on-3. It's going to be tough to do. He skips around one defender. We need some people into the box, please. Into the box. Into the box. Oh, yeah. I don't have a lot of options off the bench. That's one of the problems with this team. In certain positions. Obviously, I have different options at the front. Matthew Clark's a fairly good alternative to Randall, but it's not Randall's fault. Randall's been doing fairly well. So I'm not sure what we can do otherwise. Okay. We gotta do something different. What if... Just do something... No. This may be silly... But we need men forward. So, try something a little unorthodox, I guess. And this sort of weird asymmetrical formation. Focus down the right side. And then, if they score, they score. But we just need more men forward. So, we got 10 minutes. As soon as I get a chance, I'm going to move us to a more attacking formation. Into the middle. To Randall, into the back of the net. Poorly cleared by Firth there. But we just needed some luck. We just needed a bounce to go our way. And that's before our change, so this is probably going to bite us in the ass, to be honest. But just scrambled into the box. Firth can't deal with it. Oh, that's not even Firth's fault. Deflected off him by Burdett. So Burdett doesn't clear it. Randall gets his first real chance of the game, and he makes no mistake. Martin creating it there. Fixter into Clark. Clark plays it over to Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss off the bar. Clark into the middle. Off the post. Randall into the middle. Oh my. That's quite a bit of pressure. All right, so we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes ahead. We got some time. Fixter plays it into Walker. Walker over to Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss, stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Shoot less. You're wasting them. You're wasting them. You're killing me here. We have way more talented scorers than you. He scores a couple goals in a season and thinks he's, I don't know who. Oh, Chuddy off the post. Jesus. Mayer's not having a good game. We still got a chance. A couple minutes. Just 2 minutes. We can do it. Just give me one highlight. One highlight. Burdett gives it away. Here we have a chance moving forward. Martin to Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss over to Walker. Walker plays up to Randall. And he's dispossessed. Got to close him down. Hutchison launches it forward to Clark. Clark back to Hayes. This is going to be our last chance here to Walker. Walker plays it over to Martin. Martin back to Walker. Walker into Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss, don't give it away. He's done that so many times today. I should have taken him off, but I just didn't really think he was going to be the difference maker in a negative way. Hutchinson plays it forward. We only have 20 seconds left. Oh my goodness. They've had two just massive long-range goals, and that seals it for them. See that one? Oh, wow. Off the bar, and then has some backspin, I guess, to roll into the net. And that does it for us today. Missed opportunity to move within striking distance of the top of the table. We drop down a third because Heath Rangers is one. Ardingly is yet to play. And that was not good for us. Not good enough. Not good enough. Sure. All right. Be demotivated. Yeah. You're furious. Why are you furious? I'm furious. I'm just not going to say anything. Screw him. Screw him. Not going to say anything. The counterattack goal and then 2 wonder strikes is what beats us today. You can see that they're fairly strong offensively, very good defensively. Less than 1 goal allowed per game, more than 2 goals scored per game. That's why they're top of the table. It's going to be hard for us to catch them, to be honest. Only 8 games remaining in the season. We only play them once. One more time. But we have other things to worry about. Just finishing second. It's so congested at the top. We still have to take on Heath Rangers, our divisional rivals at this point. Not the best. Not the best results, certainly. It would have taken a draw. That's for sure. But moving forward, you just got to keep moving forward. All right? Yes, incisive. Quite a bit. Those are 2 great goals. Not much else can be said there. So we've dropped down a little bit. Here's the table. Taking a look. Alistair Chuddy has 8 goals on the season now after scoring that pair against us. Nathan Randall's still up there as well. I think that's just one of those games. I didn't really mention it before because I hoped it wouldn't be relevant, but the episode that didn't record was this one, and the computer crashed and didn't save. And the first time I ran the game against Nutley, we won 4-0. So that's usually how it goes. When you don't save or you can't get the opportunity to save and your computer crashes and something doesn't save, well, usually Football Manager comes back and makes sure you pay for it. So a little disappointing there. We're sitting in 3rd place, though. 4 wins, 4 losses. Definitely not where we want to be. But, 8 games to go. Plenty of time to turn it around, I suppose. The problem is our losses are to Ardingly, Crawley, Heath Rangers, and Nutley. And Crawley's there as well. But aside from that, we've lost to the other top 3 teams. So we're losing to the teams that we're really competing against. We're beating the teams that we should beat, which is good. But we're losing against the teams that we need to finish ahead of. So moving forward, we do have the Brian Hall Challenge Cup quarterfinal. We have the Tester Challenge Cup quarterfinal. We have another game against Dynamo Chicken Kiev. I am not going to be showing you the game against Chicken Kiev. We've played them 3 times already this season. I think 2 of our episodes have featured them. So I think I'll probably come back for either the game against Crawley or the quarterfinal of the Mid-Sussex Junior Cup, depending how the next few days go. And we'll see. We may have to look around for another creative option on a wing. Obviously, I'm still always looking for transfers to bring players in. As I've mentioned a couple times already, there are no transfer windows in these lower leagues, so we can bring in players whenever we want, which is always nice. But we do need to get on a good run of form. We had a great run here, but we need to sort of shrug off this loss and get right back on it because, as you can see, not a whole lot of ways to go before the end of this season, and we want to continue our rise. I don't really want to stay in a division for more than 1 season. That would really lengthen this already very long Football Manager save, or at least the idea of this very long Football Manager save. So that episode will be coming hopefully in the next couple of days. I'll hopefully be building my computer tomorrow. I'm just waiting on one more part, which should arrive tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But so that should be coming out soon. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see moving forward. If you have any advice on how to improve and get the most out of this squad, please let me know. And I'll speak to you guys next time.